Hey guys, Vince Duvall with Eagle Hopes. Getting ready to interview the owner of Blak Coffee in Kenosha, downtown Kenosha, Deshaun Foster. Check it out, guys. All right, we're here with Deshaun Foster from Blak Coffee Kenosha. Deshaun, thanks for taking time today to meet with me. Tell me a little bit about Blak Coffee. How did this start?
The idea pretty much started from my daughter. During the pandemic where things were a little bit crazy, I started venturing back into drinking coffee, and we were going every day before work, and one day she was like, Dad, maybe we should do our own coffee shop. I think that would be a really good idea instead of coming here every day. And that was just something that just sat in my mind, and when COVID, started, I felt like it made people, really think about future and different things like that. And basically, middle of the pandemic, I decided to start saving up some money and putting her plan into action. And it pretty much started as a pop-up and got to this, so I'm pretty excited.
That's awesome. When did you start the pop-up? So when did the initial vision really take place?
Actually, the initial vision started right around Juneteenth of I want to say 2020. When I was talking to my barber, also my childhood mentor, and one day I just brought the idea to him, and I honestly thought that he was gonna be like, nah, maybe you should do something else. And his eyes lit up like a Christmas tree when I told him about it, and he was like, we have to do this. I think that's something that's needed in the community. So I started doing everything that I needed to do in like August of 2020.
Okay.
And January 3rd of 2021 was my first pop-up. He actually let me use the back of his barber shop to actually make the coffee, and I set up shop right in the barber shop when you walked in, and it's pretty much went from there.
So we're 2 years, almost full 2 years out from pop-up to brick and mortar.
Yeah.
What was your favorite part about growing the business?
Honestly, just the exposure that it got from basically when I started. When I started, it was a hit instantly, and I basically did all the marketing and stuff on my own. And just to see how many people came from just me doing my own marketing, from my group of friends and friends of friends and other businesses just coming in, it was. I was like overjoyed, and surprised.
I can see the grin on your face, your eyes light up just talking about it. And so the location we're in right now, the brick and mortar, grand opening's coming up, right?
Yes.
That's when's that? Tomorrow?
Yes.
Okay. Are you excited about it? Nervous? How you feeling about it?
Honestly, all the nervousness came out the last couple days. Just doing a couple soft openings. For the grand opening, I'm just gonna be happy for more people to be able to come, just because they'll be off. It'll be on the weekend.
Right.
People won't have to, worry about getting the kids to school and getting here before they get to work. And then honestly, it just makes me happy that it'll be able to be on a Saturday where more people will be able to come. And I'm hoping to keep this place packed the whole day.
That's awesome. So when it comes to coffee, there's obviously different types of coffee. What do you offer? What are the different types of coffee? I love coffee, but I'm not real in tune to the different flavors. So
well, that was part of the reason that I wanted to become a little bit more hands-on with the business, is because a part of Blak Coffee is letting people know also what they're drinking. A lot of people just see TikTok videos of other places and be like, oh, I want to try that, and honestly don't know what they're consuming. So what I like to do is when people come in, I like to ask them what do they like, and I go off of that, and pretty much put flavors together. Some people just is like, hey, make me something I trust you, and pretty much go from there. So
it's an art, right? Like,
yes.
It really is an art.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between a good coffee and a bad coffee? I mean, how can you tell? Like, is it a smell? Is it a taste? How do you know when a coffee's something went wrong?
Right. Well, for what I've learned from just doing a little bit of investigation is everybody's coffee preference is different. For me, what I consider to be a bad coffee, and not necessarily meaning that it's bad quality, is what my palate likes. And what my palate likes is like a smooth, nice, low acidity coffee. And a lot of places serve their coffee real dark and robust. And I just want to go against the grain with that. So I went with a medium roast that was just a little bit more smooth, a light palate, but also bold as well. And I'm having great reviews about that the fact that it's just not so dark that it tastes burnt.
Right.
And that's what, to me, is a bad coffee. Is something that just tastes burnt and bitter. And, yeah.
Okay. So do you grind your own beans here? Do you what's the process for your coffee here?
So we are we are the only coffee shop in Kenosha that uses a local roaster.
Oh.
It's only 2 women roasters in the whole state of Wisconsin, and the roaster that I use is one of them, and she's here in Kenosha.
That's awesome.
Eastview Coffee Company. We've had a great, outstanding relationship since the day that I met her. She was at the Harbor Market, and me and my daughter were just walking through the Harbor Market, and she realized that, like, well, my dad's gonna be, doing a coffee shop, and she seen the lady. She was like, "Hey, let's stop and talk to her." I stopped and talked to her and developed a relationship for having my roasting. So she does a lot of my beans, and basically what she does is anything that we sell as far as coffee bags, she grinds them, weighs them, and basically makes exclusive blends just for black coffee. And then we get our beans, and of course, to make a good espresso, you have to have a nice, commercial grinder and whatnot as well.
Right. So. Right. Well, so what I like about that is, you're local. You kept the business local from, your bean source. So that's awesome. Where do you see the future of black coffee going? How do you want to grow this?
I want this to be a staple in the community.
Okay.
Honestly, something that's going to be long-standing. Of course, as a business person, you always want to try to have more than one location, but I would love for my location to stay in Kenosha. I would love to see this business continue to flourish and become a staple, just like a Tenuda's or a Paelli's. Just being the first black-owned coffee shop in Kenosha's history is it's amazing.
Right.
And I want that to be here from now on.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm praying for some longevity. That's what's going to be huge for me, is longevity.
Talking about longevity and growing, what do you think is going to drive that? What's going to be, your go-to that is going to be why people come back to you?
Customer service.
Okay.
That's something that's big for me. It doesn't matter where I go. Coffee shop, restaurant, anywhere. But what a lot of people have been loving about here is the customer service. That's something that I preach to my employees. You always want to make people feel comfortable when they come somewhere, always. And when they get ready to leave, you want to give them a reason to come back. And if they get good service while they're here, they're very likely to come back, and they're going to continue to come back to the point where you know their name and their order before they even finish walking through the door.
Right. Yeah, that's awesome. So how do people find out about Blak Coffee? How do they find you? Do you have social media, things like that? How do people find Blak Coffee, and where are we located right now in Kenosha?
So we're located at 5615 7th Avenue in downtown Kenosha. And our Instagram and Facebook is Blak Coffee Kenosha, no spaces in between. And you can contact us anytime on there. I've been doing catering orders as well. I've even ventured out and did a couple wedding showers, just doing a pop-up there. So if anyone wants to contact us about some private events and stuff like that, we are interested in doing things like that as well. But as far as right now, we're here.
Awesome. Wonderful. Deshaun, thank you so much for taking time today. Everyone, Blak Coffee, downtown Kenosha. Check it out. It's delicious.
Thank you.
Come to Blak Coffee Kenosha. It's great.